Welcome back to a very special Maxwell's Midland show because today we're talking about Neighboring Week. This is the Neighboring Week edition of the Maxwell's Midland show. And with me today is a husband, a father, a member of our community success panel, Reverend Wally Mayton. Wally, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting me. I like nothing better than to talk about neighboring. And being with you today, the spirit of neighboring is thriving here.
The spirit of
We've
neighboring
got something going on.
The spirit of neighboring is alive and well, and I'm extremely excited about it. And everyone I talked to about who should I have on for Neighboring Week, it was a general consensus amongst your peers. You got to have on Wally. You have to have on Wally. And I have to say,
thank you.
You always have this welcoming sense of bringing people into this neighboring fold. So what does neighboring mean to you?
Oh, neighboring is what it's all about. It's about life itself. It's always a season for the practice of good neighboring. And neighboring is relationships, building relationships of caring among people. And we can do that one-on-one. We can do it as a group. I love to be around people that invite and welcome and increase the spirit of neighboring. It's about who we are as people. And I think we're made to be good neighbors to each other.
Absolutely. And I thought this was interesting, too. You and I have had a conversation as well. I think there's a lot of stereotypes about specifically those within the ministry, and then also how you are reaching out and being a neighbor to all around you. And I think you approach every single person with a level of love, no matter their background, where they're from, anything about their life. What about that is so important to you, especially within your career and how that cross-sections?
That's such a good way to describe it. Thank you for catching that, because it is so very important. I was in growing up and going through my educational process, I really didn't know what profession I was going to be called into, and I kept getting encouragement from peers, but also people who I respected greatly, who were my elders, and saying, you need to be around people. You need to be around people. There's something in you that makes people feel like they're being cared for and that you're truly interested in who they are. And I took that in thinking about what career choice I was going to make, and it just fell to me that our faith community, the faith that we share, no matter what our religious tradition or practice might be, what we have in common is that sense of caring and love of neighbor. And love is a practice. It's not just something you feel in your heart. It has to begin in your heart, but it's something that the way you reach out, the way you extend yourself, the way you express yourself, the way you welcome other people into your lives, and what the purpose is all about well-being. It's about how we're going to allow each other to thrive. So when we talk about community success, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's such a unique place in this community for leadership to truly set an example. And I hoped in my service here in Midland, I hope that one of the productive things that I've been able to share and be a part of is bringing faith community leaders together to on that common ground of neighboring. And that's what it is.
Well, what's awesome is you've continued to bring people together, not only faith leaders, but also folks that have vastly different religious views than you, sometimes no religious views, from all across the spectrum. And you approach every single person with that same genuine love and that smile. And, you know, when I saw you last year at Wake Up Midland, you had the red sweater on,
yes.
Mimicking Mr. Rogers. And I think the spirit of Mr. Rogers is in this room right now. And I just really, really appreciate you approaching every single person as an individual member of this community and a very valued piece of who we are and what we can accomplish together.
I thank you for expressing that. I'm very humble about that reflection on your part. But that's all I can say is it's very genuine and sincere. It's not in any way fabricated. And I like to go to Wake Up Midland, and I like to be out in the community, because being with people face to face, you have that opportunity to really express your interest in the other person's lives. We all have stories. We all have stories to tell. But a story only takes life when a person, any one of us, has the opportunity to share it, to tell the story. And it can be just what's going on in your life today. It may be what has been going on in your life for 10 or 20 years. But it's just a matter of being present for another person. So really, I received that affirmation, and I have to admit that Midland has been a great setting for me. It has been such a good fit for my heart and what I'm passionate about, not only for me, but for my family. And my family is so important to me. They too have thrived. My children, my grandchildren now, my wife and I, Lindsay and I, we both are so very grateful for the neighboring spirit that's so alive here in Midland.
And we're excited for Neighboring Week, which is coming up here September 22nd through the 28th. We hope you enjoyed that clip from the Maxwell's Midland Show. If you want to watch the full episode, make sure you head over to our YouTube channel and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to hear that episode, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts.